Sure, I got a story about peer pressure. I was 13 years old, and I was hanging out, and when you're 13, your life is full of stories that never really happened. I mean, you're kind of making it up as you go. You're kind of winging it. So by the time I was 13, I was like the ladies' man. And so one night I happened to get around this group of ladies, and they were, they'd heard all my stories, and they wanted to hang out with me and stuff. So we were just hanging out, sitting at this house, and they came out with this big giant, it was like the biggest bottle I'd ever seen of like vodka. And of course I'd never had a drink of alcohol in my life. I thought it smelled disgusting, so I kind of wouldn't want to drink any of it. But because of all these stories that I had told, and because everybody else there was doing it, and actually I would be the nerd kid or the outcast if I didn't do what everybody else was doing, I decided to drink it, and I realized that, hey, it's pretty easy to drink this stuff. As a matter of fact, everything just got a little more fun when I started drinking it, but that was the first 15 or 20 minutes.
When I got to the California Youth Authority, I was 14 years old, I weighed about 80 pounds, and I was like 5'1". I'm no taller now, but when I got there, you saw guys that were already in there for so many years, and you saw guys that were holding these big old biceps and just, all different races, and it was real scary. And, of course I didn't show that I was scared because I had a character to live up to, but inside I was really scared. And I tell this story to a lot of young guys out there and young women out there that, there's times where you feel these cramps in your stomach and this bubbling because you're nervous and you're worried and you're kind of scared. And I lived like that for about 5.5 years with these bubbles in my stomach to where it became normal. And it was always before I was about to fight, before I was going to get into a riot, before something was going to go down. And when you're incarcerated, it's no joke. A lot of us think that being on the streets, drinking, going to parties, and having fun doesn't have an end result, or it doesn't have too bad of a consequence, but it does. Because when you do become incarcerated, the stories where you could be raped are true. The stories where you could be stabbed are true. The stories where you get peer pressured to do things you don't want to do are true. And either you have to do things to defend yourself, or you have to just pretty much go with the flow. And those are the issues that I had to come across when I was incarcerated. I've been at the point of being raped before, being set up by one of the guards in the lockdown facility. I spent a year in lockdown for stabbing someone, and as I was in this lockdown facility, one of the COs was very upset with me because of the way I was running things in there, and he tried to get a older, bigger guy to come in my room and do a few things to me. And unfortunately, luckily it didn't happen because I was able to defend myself. And I caught another charge then because I stabbed that guy. And you just have to fight for your life sometimes, and it's something that young men don't have to go through, or young women don't have to go through. I was 16 when it happened, and I could have been in school, I could have been doing other things, having a summer job, but instead I'm here defending my manhood to a bunch of men who have been locked up for quite some time. And in the California Youth Authority, you're talking about ages 14 to 25. I would say that my turning point in life was when a gentleman came in there, and he had a program called Find the Tree. And I was very deep into the gang lifestyle, very deep into the organized lifestyle as far as gangs are concerned in prison. And I always, in the back of my head, I've always told myself, is this what it's always going to be? Because I've always been one of hope, and I know a lot of you guys out there have hope, and you always ask yourself, is this what life is? Is this what life going to bring to me? And when I always asked myself, I always took the time to listen to other people when they had stuff to offer. And when this gentleman came through with this program, he told us that he would help us live a dream. He told us that he would help us start our own business. Told us that he would help us do all these other things to move forward. And me being the hustler that I am, I always thought to myself, I don't want to always sell dope, and I don't always want to gangbang. I wanted something different. I mean, there's going to be a time in my life where I'm going to hit 30, 40 years old, and this stuff's going to be owed to me. And I listened to what the man had to say, and all the concepts that my homeboys brought to me in regards to characteristic being someone, decision making, peer pressure, all that stuff. He brought those same concepts in a different style, in a positive style, and that's when I picked up that me, the person that I am, all the things that I know, the leader that I am, I can use that in a positive way